And if you're listening to this and it makes you a little uncomfortable because you're like, what do you mean I'm supposed to take time out of my workday to do things like get coaching or learn things that support my professional or personal development? I get it. It has not been sort of baked into the system in any way, shape, or form in healthcare, really in any aspect of the work that I've been doing in coaching and consulting in this industry for a long time. And I just want to say clearly, it is in other sectors, even in places like law, accounting, finance, manufacturing, education. There is more openness to recognizing that making time for things like getting coaching or taking a group course together that takes an hour a month or an hour a quarter is actually really, really important for not only people's work performance and work-related outcomes, but for their willingness to stay in a job in a sustainable long-term way. In other words, it really helps with burnout. And Adam Grant and others who are leaders in kind of the organizational psychology and workplace psychology have been preaching about this for years and years and years. And I think it's just finally dawning on healthcare, thanks to, unfortunately, this mass exodus of physicians and healthcare workers due to burnout, that they're starting to say, wait a second, we might have to think about this completely differently. So on the macro level, the crisis of staffing, I think, is beginning to help these conversations have a little more impact. On the micro level, as you talked about, it's a great question. You're like, okay, Jill, that sounds excellent that I can just take an hour a month to get individual coaching in my very busy schedule where I'm already pressured to see more patients every day than I am. And I'm scheduled from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. and then have hours of paperwork after that. And I don't have time to eat or even pee during the day. I just want to say, first of all, I see you. I hear that those are the conditions that have been created by the system for you. And I also want to say to you, that's not okay. At the Burnout Conference, I had a really deep and wonderful conversation with a couple of people who are in leadership and wanting to change, coming at things from the physician wellness perspective. And they said, just like in the late 1800s and early 1900s, factory workers who were being abused by being forced to work in almost inhuman conditions, in truly inhuman conditions, had to say, wait a second, this isn't right. We can't create conditions for humans where they literally can't take care of their most basic needs and do it in a sustainable way. And so what I often have happen when a physician will come to me and say, I got to quit. I can't do this anymore. I'm going to leave medicine and go work in a bait shop in Miami or a flower shop. There's been all kinds of places where they want to go work that aren't in medicine anymore. And the first place we start is asking, what are the conditions that will allow you to reconnect to enjoying and finding the practice of medicine meaningful again? And they'll lay those out: reasonable hours, the ability to do professional development or to get support from somebody like me or others who are experienced at this, and time to actually do paperwork and administrative work.